and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Whitney, and today I am sharing a very special video with you. It is my twist on our classic Thanksgiving. So it's a little bit of my family's, a little bit of my husband's family's, and met somewhere in the middle. And I really hope you enjoy it. First up, we're gonna make cornbread. So this is how Jonathan's mama makes cornbread. She told me how to make it, so I'm gonna attempt it. It's for our dressing. So let's get started. First, I'm gonna take, she doesn't do this, but I want to. I'm gonna preheat my cast iron in the oven. So I'm just gonna take some Crisco, I got the stick, and rub it all around the skillet, and I'm gonna put it in a 400-degree oven to preheat. For the ingredients, it's literally 4 ingredients. So you need 2 cups of self-rising cornmeal mix, the yellow. She didn't specify a brand, so I just bought the Food Line brand. Add that in. An egg. Fresh chicken egg. A tablespoon of mayonnaise. I wish I had regular Dukes, but I don't. That's about a tablespoon. And then she said milk just until the texture's right. So that's probably about a 1/4 cup of milk. Bust my egg open and stir it in. Okay, we definitely need more milk. Okay, it's coming. It's coming together. Okay, so I'd say milk, you need anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup of milk. If this is even thin enough, I don't even know. I've never actually watched her make this. That looks good. All right, let's get our skillet out of the oven. She didn't tell me how long. The skillet is hot and out of the oven. We're just gonna pour this in. I would have liked for it to be a little hotter, but it's all right. All right, so we're putting it in a 400-degree oven for, I would say, we'll check it at 20 minutes and see what it's doing. So, into the oven. There, here is my beautiful cornbread. And I'm just gonna dump it out onto the, I'm just gonna turn it out, look how pretty, onto this sheet pan that I've had these bread drying out on, because this is all for the dressing. So I'm just gonna let this cool. Hey baby, you wanna come taste this? That looks right. That looks right. Looks good. I know you like crust. Is it right? Is it good?
Good.
It's good. Okay, now we're gonna let that cool and we'll get ready to mix it into dressing in a little bit. I need to go ahead and get some eggs going for dressing and some celery and onions diced up. And I'm literally just putting some eggs in this because if you have not boiled eggs in one of these egg cookers, you are missing out. I have one in my Amazon storefront. I'm telling you, it's the best thing ever. They peel like nothing. It's fantastic. I need to make our veggies for, I have the eggs going on the back counter back there. Now I need to make the veggies to put in the dressing. And I'm just gonna do onion and celery, and I'm gonna do a really fine dice, and I'm gonna saute mine. I don't think my mother-in-law does, but I don't really like a crunch of a veggie like that. So I'm gonna saute them. it's time to start sauteing our celery and onions. Just gonna get out a skillet. And then I'm sure you're just gonna saute these till they're about translucent and soft, you know. You can see my eggs are still going back there. The timer should be going off soon. I'm just gonna add these in. That was 1 small onion and 2 stalks of celery. Our eggs are done now, so we have to get those out. Right out of here after the timer goes off, and just pop them in some ice water. My fingernails are really long, so I'm just using those. But these are hot. Pop them in some ice water, let them cool for a little bit, and then we'll peel them, and they'll peel so perfectly. I'm gonna deglaze this with a little bit of chicken stock. Just to get all those flavor bits off the bottom of the pan and just to soften these the rest of the way. All right, I turned the heat off and I'm just gonna take this off and let it just kind of sit there and cool down while we peel the eggs and just wait to make our dressing. Go ahead and peel these real quick. You just pop them. I'm telling you, this little egg cooker is one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. Well, I might not let them cool enough. You just take it, get a little water underneath that shell helps. And look at that, it just peels right off. Like if you have to make deviled eggs, that is, look at that, beautiful, beautiful. Let's peel. Okay, I'm going to use this little egg slicer just to give me some nice slices. I got this from Hobby Lobby actually. I'm gonna let it dump out. And then I'm gonna slice it this way. And it should give me some nice little dices. Might be too small though. We'll see. That is so cute. That's good. I feel like it's too small though. So I'll figure it out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is slice this in half long ways and then let it slice it for me. And that should give me the cuts I'm wanting. Yeah, they're not quite so small. There's some bigger pieces. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and mix the dressing. There's egg on me, I just ate an egg. Dressing is a great make-ahead thing. So I know my mother-in-law makes them the day before, then bakes them on Thanksgiving. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and mix that, get that set aside, and then we're gonna move on to the pies so I can get those in the oven. All right, let's make some dressing. I'll start out by crumbling the cornbread in here. This is not a whole cake of cornbread because somebody got into it. Some cornbread and milk just to try it out. I might not be able to fill up that whole pan, babe. I might have to do a smaller pan. I might make it in the cast iron. Okay, so crumble up. Well, I would have done whole cake, but it's fine. Now, this is about a half a loaf of white bread that I cut up this morning to let dry out. It's not completely dry. I should have done it the night before, but you're basically making your own of that stuff you buy in the grocery store for a whole lot cheaper. Huh? And don't have all that flavoring in it. Because this stuff that you buy at the grocery store, this bread stuff, it's like, I want to say $3 now. And this loaf of bread from Aldi was $2, I think. Like, no, it's 50 cents for a loaf of bread. So look at that. That looks good. Now we're going to go in with our celery and onions. I got to grab that. Add that in. Now, I know Tammy uses sage in hers. Jonathan is not the biggest fan of sage. So what I'm going to do is just use some poultry seasoning. Okay, here's my poultry seasoning. This is a half a teaspoon. I think I'm going to go in, I'm so afraid to put too much of this. I'm going to go with a quarter of a teaspoon and then add more from there. I know that seems kind of wimpy, but that's just where I'm at because Jonathan hates sage. My family recipe, you know, like that's mama's stuff. So I'm gonna add in cream of chicken soup because my dad does. Probably about a quarter cup of that. I don't want too much. My husband is not for out there leaf blowing right now. He is. He literally knows I'm making this video. And then I'm gonna go in with chicken stock. I'm gonna do the eggs last so I don't break them up too much. Okay. Let's just get this mixing up. Oh my gosh. My husband is in the garage blowing leaves. I'm gonna kick his tail. He knows that's loud. Ooh, y'all, it looks like dressing. That's good. We need more. I'm probably gonna go ahead and pour the rest of this because it needs the liquid. Got a gnat in here. Why? Why is there a gnat in here? Okay, it needs the liquid. I'm just gonna have to voice over this part. Okay, I'm liking this texture. And then I'm gonna add my eggs in. I might not add all these. I think that is a lot. Okay. Y'all, this looks like dressing. Now, my daddy adds raw eggs into his, but I don't think you have to do that. So I'm not going to. So I can go ahead and taste this and make sure it tastes all right. If I need to add season, I might need to add salt and pepper. I didn't think about that. All right. You're probably like, girl, that's gross, I know. Okay. It definitely needs this. About another quarter, a little more, of a teaspoon. It needs some salt and pepper for sure. Use the garlic powder, so guess we're not adding that. Black pepper. Jonathan forgot I was filming. He's trying to turn that leaf blower on. A little bit of black pepper. And then some salt. Mix it up. All right, I'm gonna go take this to Jonathan, get him to taste it before I put it in a pan. I might cook it in my iron skillet, honestly. I don't really want to be cutting in that. Okay. I'll go ahead and bake it in this 9x13 because I think there's more of it than I'm thinking there is. And I already have my dishes cleaned out I was gonna use. So I'm gonna grease this, a little bit of avocado oil spray, and then I'm gonna pour this in. Oh yeah, there's plenty. Might be a little thin, but it's all good. There we go. No, baby. All right. There's dressing. And we call it dressing, not stuffing. It's dressing. So there we go. Look at it. Now that the dressing is made, it is time for the turkey. So as you can see, the turkey is in a brine. We use the Kinder's brine. We usually make our own, but this one was fantastic. It was about $6.50, $6.98, I think, at Walmart, and 100% worth it. It comes with a bag and everything, and it's just way easier than making your own. So we did brine our turkey overnight. Then we were rinsing it off really well. Once it's rinsed well, you're going to pat it dry, put it in a pan, and Jonathan seasoned it with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some of the Kinder's poultry seasoning. He usually uses paprika too, but we were out. So he's going to season that really thoroughly, and we're going to get it ready for the smoker. We have a Pit Boss pellet smoker, and he smoked this turkey straight on the grates. That's how we always do it, at about 225 to 250 for 2 to 2.5 hours. This was a 12-pound turkey. Look how beautiful that is. And then he did put the breast side down, so that way all the juices go to the breast. Now we are going to make the scalloped potatoes. I'm choosing to do scalloped potatoes instead of mashed potatoes. I just want something a little bit different, so we're gonna make them. Let's get started. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is about me finding just a twist on our family things. Our family is from the South. We usually have potato salad for Thanksgiving, and I am not a fan of potato salad for Thanksgiving. So I thought, why not scalloped potatoes? I love them. They're cheesy, delicious. So you're gonna start out with some thinly sliced potatoes. Jonathan said this was about 12 Yukon Golds he sliced for me. Slice them pretty thin. Ours were probably about a 1/4 inch to an 1/8 thick. I seasoned them with some salt, pepper, and some garlic powder, and just kind of let them hang out before I get started making our cheese sauce. So I will link this recipe down below, but I didn't follow it all the way. You're going to start by making a roux for your cheese sauce, which is a bechamel. And that's going to start out with 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to let that melt down. Once that is melted, we are going to add in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour and just whisk it together. Once that has come together and you feel like your flour is cooked and doesn't have that flour taste anymore, you're going to pour in your half and half. I didn't have any, so I made my own, which is just whole milk and heavy cream mixed together. 3/4 cup of each. And you're just going to whisk that in, and it's going to start to thicken. Now it is time for the best part, the cheese. Jonathan, my sweet husband, grated this whole bowl of cheese for me, which was 3 gigantic blocks of cheese. It's Monterey Jack, Colby Jack, and cheddar. And we're just going to add in about 2 cups of cheese, and I'm just going to pick whatever cheese comes out. I used mostly probably the Monterey Jack and Colby Jack with a little bit of cheddar, but you use whatever cheese you like. I think 2 cups is a very loose measurement on the cheese. So here I added a little bit more because a little bit more cheese never hurt anyone. And you're just going to whisk this all together until it's melted and combined and makes a cheese sauce. Now, this recipe did not call for seasoning the sauce that I saw, but girl, I'm seasoning that sauce. So I put some pepper in there and some onion powder, excuse me, and then a little bit of garlic powder, just because why would you not season the sauce? Now it is time for the fun part, is the layering.
I was originally going to vertically layer these potatoes, but I quickly realized that was not happening. So I just greased my casserole dish first, and then I layered a little ladleful of the bechamel on the bottom. Now you're just going to put your potatoes in a single layer around the pan and just keep repeating that process until you end up with bechamel on top of all the potatoes.
Okay, now it's time to top it with cheese, and we're gonna cover it and bake it. Like I said, this cheese is like all just in here together. So, we're just gonna cover it with cheese. It's all ooey and gooey and melty. Okay, now we're gonna cover this with full and put it in the oven at 400. Next, we are making pie. These pies have quickly become a family favorite of ours, and we're gonna get these together. They're super easy. So my husband's grandpa was like the pie man where we live. He would take everybody pies. He would make pumpkin pies, sweet potato pies, and butternut squash pies. And then sometimes when he had a little bit left over of each one, he would make a pie with triple, like everything, the pumpkin, the sweet potato, and the butternut squash. And I can't recreate his pie because I don't have his recipe, but I'm doing my version of it, which is the whole point of this Thanksgiving. So let's make this pie together.
This pie process started the night before when I was cooking my butternut squash, my pumpkin, and my sweet potato, because I do make them all from fresh. There are other options you can do, like canned pumpkin or frozen sweet potato and butternut squash that you could steam in a bag. I actually have some of that I plan on trying it with, but it's really worth just roasting your own if you have the time. You just scoop all the insides out, lay it on a sheet pan, and put it in a 425-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes until it's all just nice and sweet and roasted. Now it's time for the messy but fun part. You're just going to peel all the skin off of everything. It should be super easy. My sweet potatoes weren't as easy because I think I probably should have cooked them a little bit longer, but you're just going to peel it all off and just section it off so you know what is what. Now is when the fun starts. It's time to make the pie. So I started out by just putting all my stuff in a bowl and popping it in the microwave because I usually work when all the ingredients are hot. So about 30 seconds in the microwave, no, about a minute in the microwave, I let it go and warm all up, and it loosens up all the little fibers of the sweet potato, which is what you see me wiping off of my mixing beaters. Now, depending on the texture you like your pie, you're going to wipe this off as many times as you like. I personally do. I like a very smooth pie. I do not like those strings. I do not like chunks. So I do this probably about 5 times in total. But again, that's your preference. It is time to start mixing stuff in. So you're going to mix in 2 large eggs and just beat those in until they're incorporated. Now a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 stick of melted butter. Now beat that in and make sure you're wiping the sides of your bowl as you go too. 1 cup of white granulated sugar goes in and beat that until incorporated again. Next is 1/2 cup of brown sugar going in. A 1/4 cup of 1/2 and 1/2 evaporated milk, heavy cream, whatever you want to use. I usually use evaporated milk, but I was out, so this time I used heavy cream. Now we put in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Time to add our flavoring. This is vanilla extract. I could not find my pure, so I just used that. And I'm adding in some of this pumpkin scone skinny syrup extract. I really love the flavor of it, but this is totally optional. For seasoning, I really like a cinnamony pie, so I use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then I use 1/2 a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. This next step is very important in the taste. Usually I use lemon, but I didn't have a lemon, so I used key lime juice. It really just brings a brightness to the pie and just brings out all the flavors. It's just fantastic. And you're also just going to add a pinch or a grind of salt. I am using 2 regular pie crusts. You could also do 1 deep dish crust. I really love the Pillsbury crust, so I'm just using 2 regular ones of those, and you're just going to divide the batter filling, however you want to say it, evenly between those 2 crusts. And you're going to pop this in a 375-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. And here is our beautiful pie when it is out of the oven. I love to serve mine with Cool Whip, but it is great with or without it, and I hope your family enjoys it as much as mine. It is time for mac and cheese, and I will tag because it was just really late when I was making this, so I didn't do a great job of showing you, so I will tag the recipe down below. But this is the easiest Instant Pot mac and cheese you'll make. I've made it for so long now. I did add a little more moisture to mine this time because I knew I was going to be baking it, and the leftovers of this mac and cheese, let me tell you, have been phenomenal. So you're just going to add chicken stock, elbow noodles, some butter, salt, pepper, and garlic powder to your Instant Pot, and then set it on manual with the seal on for 4 minutes, and it takes about 10 to 12 minutes for it to cook, and it is fantastic. As you can see, once it came on, I released the pressure and it's finally done. And here are the noodles cooked. Now you're going to add in a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of whole milk. I did add a little too much of this, but I'm telling you, it all came together in the end. And then a whole heck of a lot of cheese. And then you're just gonna stir it together. Just stir, 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 and it'll start to make a sauce. And then I thought I had this clip, but I can't seem to find it. I poured it into a casserole dish and I just topped it with more cheese and baked it in the oven until the cheese on top got all ooey, gooey, and melty. And as it sat and cooled, it came together and it was just delicious. And here is our Thanksgiving spread. Jonathan's turkey. Also, we basted that with butter at the end, just so you know. Our mac and cheese, some green beans that I'll show you how to make another day, some croissants, our scalloped potatoes, our dressing, and some gravy that came out of a packet because this mama was tired. But thank you so much for joining us in this video today and just watching how we made our version of Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you like and subscribe and come join our family, and we will see you next time. Bye.